You've been in my prayers, and I hope you're doing well. Today, this devotional is entitled The Untamable Tongue. I'll be reading from the New King James Version of the Bible, James chapter 3, verses 4 and 5. And it says, "Look also at ships. Although they are so large and are driven by fierce winds, they are turned by a very small rudder, wherever the pilot desires. Even so, the tongue is a little member and boasts great things. See how great a forest a little fire kindles." James continues to discuss the tongue, and in verse 8 says, "But no man can tame the tongue. It is an unruly evil, full of deadly poison." Throughout this chapter, James uses a variety of imagery to describe the tongue. One of them is likening the rudder of a ship to the tongue. I love visuals, so here you go. You can see on this model ship that the rudder is a small component that controls the direction of the ship. And we've all seen how big California wildfires get, almost always ignited by a small campfire that got out of control or some other small fire that quickly spread to thousands of acres. Our tongue, or really our words, can be used to bless and uplift others or to gossip and even curse others. I've seen so many people get hurt by words, and sadly it happens in the church all too often. Earlier, in James chapter 1, verses 19 through 20, he says, "So then, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath, for the wrath of man does not produce the righteousness of God." When somebody wrongs us, I think a lot of times our natural reaction is to retaliate, most often verbally. But this response does not glorify God. Holding your tongue, trying to understand the other person's perspective, and leaving the situation to God demonstrates God's love and our maturity in tense situations. When I was teaching elementary school students, I constantly was settling disputes, and more often than not, they were related to gossip or negative exchanges of words. I told my students if they find themselves covering their mouths and whispering to their friends that they are probably saying something they should not be saying. Also, I let them know they should not say anyone's name because it's unlikely they will be whispering positive or uplifting words about that person. And I think that's good advice for you, for me, and for other adults as well. With our tongue, we know we can hurt others, but let's not. Instead, let's bring hope, comfort, and encouraging words to others to build them up. Let's bring glory to God. We have the capacity to bring salvation to the lost and hope to the hopeless. We need to try and control our tongue, which is only possible with God's help. In Matthew 12:33-35, Jesus was instructing the disciples and had some very strong words to say about the way we speak of others. And he said, "Brood of vipers, how can you, being evil, speak good things? For out of the abundance of the heart the mouth speaks. A good man out of the good treasure of his heart brings forth good things, and an evil man out of the evil treasure brings forth evil things." Here, Jesus is explaining that it's not so much what goes into a man, but what comes out of a man that matters. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Whatever is going on inside of you will come out. You can monitor what is going on internally by listening to what comes out verbally. I've said things in frustration I wish I'd never said, and then there are good things that I wish I would have said and did not. But I rest in the fact that I have been forgiven, thank the Lord. But I still need to try, with God's guidance, to tame my tongue to the best of my abilities. You know, being at home with family is a time I feel we let our guard down and not take the time to pause and think about what we're going to say to our family members that may bring about negative feelings and or strife. So let's all do better at home with our families and when we are speaking with our friends. So in closing, please pray that I guard my tongue, that I think before I speak to others in all situations in my life. And if you could also pray for my husband and toddler at home and all of us, that would be amazing. Have a great day. God bless.